Poppy, the face of the popular indie horror game Poppy Playtime, a doll that's supposed to be our friend. However, with everything we have come to know about her, can she really be trusted? And worst of all, was she just using us? Poppy is a Playtime character introduced at the very end of Poppy Playtime Chapter 1. You walk into her dollhouse after defeating Huggy Wuggy, and then for some reason you proceed to open her case, which is then followed by flickering lights and her saying,
"You opened my case."
The credits roll, and right from that moment on, the player is left feeling uneasy, like perhaps we should have never opened the case in the first place. Starting Chapter 2, we are spawned right back in front of her, and Poppy then begins as what appears to be helping you. The player escape from Playtime, but not before saying, "I have the code," and "We're going to get out of here." The emphasis on the "we" is important as it shows Poppy's true character later on.
Needs a code, and I have it. We're gonna get out of here.
After we play the minigames and defeat Mummy Longlegs, we board the train with Poppy, who, best way to put it, seems off.
We need to leave.
Yeah, we all know what happens after that. Even after we freed Poppy, she forces us to stay, saying,
"You are perfect.
and
Too perfect to lose. I'm sorry.
she then goes on to something that can only be described as a villain speech.
We'll set things right. Terrible things
But the
have
most
happened.
interesting line I'd like to point out
But
here
I
is,
know that whatever I need you to do, you are capable.
this right here emphasizes that Poppy was never really thinking about us from the start, and genuinely only thinking about herself, as there was no reason she didn't ask the player if they would have been willing to help. This one act of selfishness from Poppy set the stage for every other interaction the player would ever have with her, and immediately caused distrust. I'd like to point out she sounds oddly similar to Mummy Longlegs here, only in the way she tried to manipulate the player to get what she wants, and what she deems right with no thought to how you may feel, or even that you might not survive. We end up in Playcare where we begin Chapter 3, but somehow during this chapter, Poppy digs an even deeper hole for herself.
Looks like the train crash hurt us both. You've been through so much.
Yeah, Poppy, because of you. She then proceeds to try to convince us she's not our enemy, but in the same breath says she can't let us leave, sounding kind of enemy-ish to be honest, Poppy. She tries to gain our trust here, saying we need to get revenge on the monsters who tortured you, before saying so we can get revenge on the monsters who tortured us. Clearly, Poppy's being driven by an intense rage and really wants revenge and is willing to use anyone to help her get it. She doesn't seem to care who she hurts or loses on the way, as can be seen in Chapter 4 when she literally tells Doughy the only way is to kill everyone by blowing the whole place up.
Best for everyone, Doughy, that no trace of this place is left.
Her whole plot is some vendetta against the prototype, and she doesn't care if we die in the process as long as he dies as well. I also think a key point is when we arrive at Safe Haven, the toys who are living there first response isn't worry or concern for us, it's suspicion. With the first toy stating,
What's Poppy doing here?
I don't know, they just let her in.
Why? That's inviting a whole lot of trouble we don't need. I mean, how do we even know we can trust her this time?
We don't know, so let's just be careful, especially around her new friend.
The employee. Can't forget that.
Shh, I think they might be listening.
this shows is a repeat offense for Poppy, and she has a habit of breaking people's trust. At the end of Chapter 4, once again, even after everything we did for her, she proceeds to run away as the Dynamite Ticks, abandoning us, but more importantly, abandoning Kissy Missy, who arguably helped Poppy dozens of times during the entire game, along with apparently being Poppy's chair, because I guess Poppy struggles to walk. Poppy runs away, leaving the player and Missy to die, not taking a second look back when things don't go her way. And without Kissy Missy, we might not have even survived.
What are you going to do with me?
I've got something special in mind.
I prepared it just for you.
And this one, you will never want to leave.
No. No, no, no. This entire time. You've lied to me!
Only because you've kept
Missing the point.
I've taken the liberty of retrieving those explosives from the Foundation. Thanks for collecting them.
Those, by the way, I've put them to good use. I admit, though, I'm disappointed.
After all that time in your case, I'd hoped you'd see things
Differently, don't you understand?
It's always been about you.
And we'll harm you. What we are. That's not a truth that can be burnt away. No, not when it can mean so much more.
Prototype. Please.
It's time to come home.
Poppy.
It's time to come
back in the case. I can't. I'm sorry.
Some friend, huh?
Don't worry, I'll find her.
As for you two, try to land on your feet.
Some friend, huh? Whenever Poppy talks about revenge, she says us. Whenever Poppy talks about pain, she says us. When Poppy talks about tasks we need to do, she says you, not we. And when push comes to shove and it's time for survival, Poppy says me. I think a lot of people might have been expecting this, however, and I don't know if anyone really fully trusts Poppy. I mean, don't forget the name of the game. It's not Huggy Playtime, Mommy Playtime, or even Prototype Playtime. It's Poppy Playtime.